Caitlin Palazzi has been great for Alabama this year. She's going to work her rise ball and her drop. You see that rise ball right there, and she'll also mix in a changeup.
Sophomore out of Helena, Alabama. That's checked foul. SEC competition, they've already played 8 games this year against the Southeastern Conference. This is back to Palazzi, 1 down.
Sustain that progress, keep putting pressure on, and be competitive in all facets of the game.
She really likes this freshman class with Gracie Dees as D.
Low rise on this one, gets Dees to be just underneath. A little bit of wind today. Out her swing as she messes around with her front foot, with her timing mechanism.
Last 5 games has walked 4 times and hit 300. That's out to center field, and Mombelli has a 2-out single for South Alabama. Anstetter. This might stay in play, and it's caught by Marley Giles. One of the only pitchers on this South Alabama staff that has not faced Alabama before.
You know, I'd say that's pretty good.
This is chopped and could be trouble. It'll just roll foul. On the ground over to second. Stewart's got it. 1 away against Texas. 1 for 11. But that one hit, arguably, for Alabama was the biggest of the entire series, that 3 RBI double. That's rolled over to short. Stagner's got it. 2 up, 2 down for the Tide. The Oviedo, Florida native Anna Roman. She's on an 8-game reach base streak. Here's the 1-2 from Harrison. Popped up in the air. And coming in is Lively from center. Player of the week. Wine bloops this out towards center. White is there.
Continue to compete because there still is a chance for almost everybody in that conference. Absolutely, and you know, we've mentioned it before, but RPI is so extremely important.
Here's the 3-2, and Stagner draws the walk.
A little bit more, get her to swing and miss at that ball. Instead, it's up and away for ball 4.
To Flagler, and then came to Mobile to play for Coach Clark.
Looks a little juicier to the batter.
Off speed, lifted out to center. White is patrolling, 2 down. Here's the 8-hitter, Ansley Smith. Runner goes as that pitch was way off the mark from Palazzi.
She was able to handle that really well.
This is a cue ball over to second. Hubbard stays down here this year. Taylor stripes that out to center. Catch made by Lively, 1 down.
Just right at the center fielder. Presley Lively, 390 batting average.
She's looking for the gap, and she'll find it all the way to the wall. Marley Giles will hustle on to second with a stand-up double.
This is a rise ball that gets away from Riley Harrison and is just out of reach of Ansley Smith. A little bit of pressure off her. Maybe she gets to see a few more pitches, and it seems to work really well for Audrey Vandegrift. The expectation can be really hard sophomore season.
And with that speed, a dangerous situation for Riley. First softball inductee ever in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. Is
really difficult for a defense, and so Ansley Smith behind the plate decides to hold on to that ball, let her take second base.
That's misplayed. Giles will score, and everybody's safe. On the ground to second. There's 1. The throw to first is in time. That's ball 4. And the 9-hole back to the top of the order with Lively, who pops up the bunt. It's over Taylor's head.
Do you ever want to pop up a bunt? Not really, but Ambry Taylor is charging so hard that
Back to the circle. Palazzi to third for one, and Taylor is able to finish off the double play. Ball 4. Brandstetter popped out on the first pitch last time, and she'll fly out on the first pitch here in the... My picks aren't going well, but that's okay. Kristen White. Harrison couldn't keep her feet, and I'll tell you what else has gone well.
I fell a few times mid-game. I fell... happens.
It would happen if I ran taco hot sauce. Speaking of running, there goes Kristen White. Good throw by Smith, but
It was right on the money. It's just a little too late, and Kristen White is safe. And like we said, that's a momentum killer for the Alabama Crimson Tide. You go from having the lead off. You have two choices as a player.
That's striped out to center field. The reach base streak will continue, and Papillo's on.
Sunday off, and then yesterday, Monday off as well. So as an offense and as a team is really important as an athlete. And B, get a little bit of time to hit on your own.
I'm at a little jam job. On the ground and through the right side. Papillo races around third, and Anna Roman has an RBI single.
Too, which is, again, really tough defensively. And you have the freshman of the week, Ambry.
It was a hit and run, foul back. That got all the way back. Pate will score with ease. I think she thought it was a foul ball. A run is in. It's 3-0. Ooh, and that one hurts. Taylor fouls it off. And she'll take a bit of a walk.
Oh, the kneecap.
Well, Taylor will hobble on down to first. And she's got another hit. Roman will throw on the brakes at third, and the Tide has them loaded. Walked into second. On the year, hitting .400 with the bases loaded, including a grand slam. This will stay in play, and making the basket catch is Brandstetter. That's well struck out to left field, but backing up on the warning track is Bachhaus. A couple runs for Alabama. And Carol Wine, we talked about, has already won Sun Belt Player of the Week. Here's the career home run leader and senior class president, and she waits on the change. Second single of the day for
in her arsenal. She can float her foot into that leg kick a little bit more.
Called strike 3.
Capacity, as she said.
This is another one in play. Hubbard will track it down. Has not gotten a ton of at-bats the last few weeks. Just 1 for 1 in the last 5 games. First pitch in the air to left. Vandegrift will settle underneath. And the inning ends. Good movement by Harrison. That's her first strikeout of the game. 1 down. Laid down a beautiful bunt on the very first pitch.
Occasionally.
This is a slap, and she'll be safe. Book right there from Kristen White to turn the lineup over. 3-1. There goes White. It's a strike, and ball 4.
Hand, which is your back elbow, to try to get on top of that ball a little bit more, get that back elbow into.
Here's the payoff. Wells was on time there. There's a 3-run shot. The little adjustment leads to a big swing, and Alabama leads it 6-0.
She's going to keep that back elbow tight. You can see it go right past her ribs, keeps her hands inside the ball, and is able to drive this ball.
When, as we were talking about, South Alabama just playing with fire a little bit too much in all these innings. And
and Alabama had been leaving a few runners on base. Pressure on.
That's a fair ball, and it got past Mombelli at first. Roman's thinking two. Roman is able to keep passing the baton. Runner in scoring position with one out. Taylor, SEC Freshman of the Week, and she's a very Mombelli over at first. This is popped up. Redemption chance for Mombelli, and she makes the grab. The senior. And that gets all the way back to the backstop.
Again, this is one of those pitches that's going to run low and in.
Giles out towards right field, and that'll get over the head of Dees. Pruitt scores. Giles stopped at second. Swing and a miss. So Harrison gets out of it with the strikeout. Kind of reeled in the walks at the very end.
Well, Moten's going to be a little bit more 50-50 with her up and her down, and so Palazzi's more up in the zone primarily.
Senior comes from a sports family, sports collegiately. Taylor stays down, one down. The freshman was spectacular. Garrett Griggs, a new shortstop, makes the play.
Get ready for when you do go back in.
Over to third, and Taylor completes the process to wrap up the top of the fifth. Had four at the very start of that 15-3 Alabama win at South Alabama. First time tonight looking at the freshman Garrett Griggs out of Phoenix City, Alabama.
Forced it that way.
Well, certainly, as Griggs swings and misses, see Scapin last year only threw 23 1/3 innings.
Almost changing speeds without having to change speeds.
And how about some PFP?
With your third baseman and your shortstop covering that 5-6 hole, you see the third baseman really hugging the line.
And that's misplayed at short. See if Scapin is able to get by Papillo. There's a strike. White takes off and steals second. Wells already has a big hit tonight.
And drives it.
And now she's looking to end it. Brooke Wells to left. White will score, and Alabama wins it in run rule fashion, 8-0.
And ends it early for the Alabama Crimson Tide.